So back onto the starting grid again here at Wilton Mill, and it's the MiniGP 160 UK series along with the 50s. Travis Shaw, Frankie Watson and Tyler Humphries on the top of the grid. Hudson Cooper, then Bradley Curtis and Josh Herring. 6 riders, all with the ability to win. Dan Stevenson, Lucas King and Archie Hooper not far away. Riley Robinson P10, Leo Hams in P11 and Isabel Wingate there in 12th position, taking a brief break from commentary this weekend. Harry Rafferty, Arnie Carr and Thomas Bond, Riley Paisley and William Round. So off we go. Oh, a terrible start for Travis Shaw. That is one of the most difficult moments in the race for him. You cannot afford that because then you get caught into the pack and there's a good chance someone will trip over you. We're on board with Tyler Humphries as Frankie Watson takes full advantage to take the lead. We're back on board with Shaw. Well, boy, has he got to get back on the horse quickly, charging his way for 3rd position. Wow, into Inkermans. That is one of the toughest places on the circuit to get an overtake. Travis Shaw, that's one way to bounce back. That was proper style.
So how many times do we see onboard cameras that we have fitted to the bikes and we end up with them line astern basically, which is what we've got in this one. Travis Shaw heading, our other cameraman. In behind him now, Tyler Humphries, but for how long? Because we know Humphries, he doesn't do 3rds and 4ths.
Yeah, he doesn't. This is going to be an amazing fight back and he's going to pick them off one by one, isn't he? So there is a bit of a slow start for William Round, sadly. I think he may have had an issue on the starting grid. But Frankie Watson is your leader. Tyler Humphries now into 2nd place in front of Travis Shaw and Hudson Cooper. Here we go. We're on board with Shaw. Hudson Cooper, the other cameraman, is just behind us, of course. Tyler Humphries will really want to get this done on Frankie Watson up front. And look at Tyler Humphries. You don't see him looking behind very often this early in the race. It's almost as if Tyler Humphries is wanting a little bit of a point proven here.
Yeah, and that's an invitation generally. If you're Travis Shaw there looking at the onboard camera, well, if we can see him looking behind on the onboard camera, then Travis Shaw can see him looking behind, and that is generally when you get a rider, or if it's in karting. I know when we see karting, Jake, we commentate on that, we see a driver look behind. It's an invitation to the driver, or in this case the rider, to make a move, because you had a look, you've seen me, I'm throwing it up the inside, you can't then turn in on me. And talking about turning in, here it comes Travis Shaw up the inside to make the move, and makes it. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. We're back on board with the other onboard cameraman. Great onboard action.
Excellent stuff from Travis Shaw, now up to P2. So we've got 3 cameramen in a row here, because we've got Travis Shaw, Tyler Humphries and Hudson Cooper, who has been riding with a camera most of the day as well. But Cooper is actually falling into the clutches of Bradley Curtis. Hang on, is that Curtis in front? I think that was Curtis in front of Hudson Cooper. It is. Look, he's managed to get ahead. Very good riding indeed there from Bradley Curtis. Look at the gaggle of bikes behind. You've got Carr, Rafferty, Wingate, Hooper, Riley Robinson, Riley Paisley and Thomas Bond all the way down the order. So that is going to be one heck of a battle all the way through this race. Wait till the leaders get to that, because that's going to be about 6 bikes that they've got to navigate, all within inches of each other.
But again, we say this before, there's always someone to play with. You've got other riders in this championship that are on your level. You might not be on the level of the leaders, but at least you've got other riders who are on your level and you can have some fun with.
Moment there from Tyler Humphries into Ashby. Go back on board with Travis Shaw, who is now, of course, into 2nd place, trying to catch up to Watson. And there is the man, Tyler Humphries. You may have noticed there that he's got a big golden number 1 that he has fitted to the front of his bike. He's already celebrating being the champion a little bit early. We love that. Excellent. So here is the battle further back. This is Herring versus Stevenson, and there is Bradley Curtis. Very impressed with Bradley Curtis in the first part of the race here, working his way to 4th position ahead of Hudson Cooper, who is no pushover.
No, exactly, and we've talked about riders for 2025, Jake. That's another one.
Is that Travis Shaw gaining some ground there? Yes, it was, in the slipstream of a back marker. So Frankie Watson was being a little bit tentative. Travis Shaw is actually gaining ground. Look at the lap times. Shaw is taking about 0.2 of a second per lap out of Frankie Watson. So this is going to be a furious battle between them once Shaw catches up. And after Shaw took the win earlier in the weekend, we know that he's got race winner written all over him.
No doubt, he's got the fastest lap. Here's that battle further back in the field. Great battle up in the Christmas corner. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. All in the picture off the drone.
So that's King, Hams, Rafferty, Wingate, Robinson, Hooper, 6 very talented riders is just getting out. Bradley Curtis gets past, I think that was Thomas Bond that they were trying to lap there because William Round had already been lapped.
Let it not be said that we only cover the leaders.
Well, indeed, no, there's some great battles. And these guys in sort of 9th to 14th, keep an eye on them because next year they'll be in the top 5.
We keep saying it, and I'll say it again. I don't apologise for it. You've got to win your midfield battles because it might be for midfield this year. We're looking at the battle for 4th. It might be for midfield this year, but next year it might be for the win.
Right, so that was Curtis getting back ahead of Hudson Cooper. So Cooper clearly got him somewhere. Bradley Curtis was able to retaliate, but now we've got Travis Shaw all over the back of Frankie Watson. He took another 0.3 of a second out of him on the previous lap. So this is getting pretty spicy for the lead of the race. Tyler Humphries still in 3rd place, and I have to say, looking rather decidedly average for a change. Tyler Humphries is usually the dominant force of these categories. He's just having a decent ride and a chill out in 3rd place.
Again, this battle for 9th to 14th, it's raging. Off the drone and come through the left-hander down to Ozier's. One more time. Blue put in there. Back on board now with Travis Shaw on the onboard camera. This is for the lead up the inside. Does he get it?
Oh!
Look, oh!
How close was that?
Now, look at how much has that cost him. That's cost him about 25 bike lengths.
My goodness, Travis Shaw and Frankie Watson. Well, that was a very rude awakening for Shaw, wasn't it? I'm going to make a perfect, clean overtake. Oh, no, I'm not. Frankie Watson, he's not going to let me have it.
Yeah, and of course, then you're in the wrong gear, so it costs you time coming out of the corner. Again, 9th to 14th, great battling going on all the way down the field.
Considering that Travis Shaw just banged in a 52.6, Watson banged in a 52.7. Look how much time, 2 seconds that cost Travis Shaw. That's adamant from Frankie Watson. I'm not letting you have this win. You want it, come and get it, but you're not going to have it easy. There is Josh Herring, 7th position at the moment, running in front of Arnie Carr. So there is the race leader we just saw there, Frankie Watson on his own. A bit later into the race, here are the leaders. Travis Shaw and Frankie Watson going through the traffic. That was Lucas King they were taking on. They just managed to get to the front of that 9th place battle, led by Lucas King, with the likes of Leo Hams, Riley Robinson, Harry Rafferty, Archie Hooper, and Isabel Wingate, who is currently in the middle of a debate as to whether they continue on in MiniGP 160 next year, or do they switch it up to the Ovali 110s. They have been testing both bikes mid-race to try and mid-season, to try and figure out what they do in 2025. The plan is still up for negotiation. And you kind of think, well, these bikes all look the same. Oh no, they are very, very different to ride, and you take on an Ovali 110 in a very different riding style to the way you take on a 160 or a 50cc. They couldn't be more dissimilar. Look at Travis Shaw diving for the inside in the double radius. Oh my goodness! Travis Shaw, that is such a hard overtake to make. And the crowd go a bit bizarre. Right, that's the reason why. Frankie Watson with the mechanical problem.
Yeah, you'll see him on the left. There he is on the left. He's broken down. Going into the last lap. Frankie Watson breaks down. Disaster.
The amount of bad luck Frankie Watson has already had this year. There he is, being escorted back into pit lane. Frankie Watson had this race win on a plate. No wonder Travis Shaw got a daring do move in the toe of the boot. Frankie Watson was destined not to finish this race. That is devastating for Frankie. He has already had all the bad luck in a season that any rider doesn't deserve.
Yeah, he didn't deserve that, to be honest. He had the race in his pocket, but then obviously had some sort of mechanical issue that allowed Shaw to get close to him and then make the move in that corner there last time round, as it all came to a rapid end on the left-hand side of the track here as Shaw takes the jagged flag. It all came to an early end last lap round for Frankie Watson. Unfortunately, we're on board here with Tyler Humphries. Humphries goes through in 2nd place. Just behind him is Bradley Curtis. Good finish for Bradley. He is definitely a rider to watch out for next season, Jake.
Yes, indeed. Travis Shaw takes 2 out of 3 then this weekend so far. Tyler Humphries, the new champion, in 2nd. Bradley Curtis, a brave 3rd. Hudson Cooper from Dan Stevenson and Josh Herring. Arnie Carr comes up 7 places to P7, ahead of King, Hams and Robinson. But bitter disappointment and bitter gall for Frankie Watson. There's one race to go for every category. Join us in part 2 of our Round 6 programme when the British Minibikes Road to MotoGP concludes.